happy Valentine's Day, and thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the show on this, obviously, 14th day of February. I knew all day if I didn't get out of the office and away from the computers and away from watching the weather, I was going to miss the weather outside. I don't know what I was going to take a picture of because there's nothing really green or really gorgeous to look at, but the sun was oh so nice. But I missed it. Just about the time I started to get freed up enough to go outside and maybe try to find some landscape shots. Well, the clouds had already rolled in. Your weather forecast is another mixed bag of tricks and, I hate to use the Halloween pun, treats this evening, but nevertheless, a winter weather advisory in effect not until 10 o'clock this evening. However, it is going to be into effect. We are expecting to see some winter weather during the overnight hours and into your early morning hours as well. We're still expected to make our way through this, as always, and then see the 60s by midweek next week, which is some good news. In the short term, though, cancellations to speak of in regards to tonight's weather, which has been updated specifically due to the warmer temperatures that were a little more than unexpected today. They exceeded earlier expectations, and they, of course, have resulted in some changes to your forecast. After assessing our daytime high today of 58 degrees, I went back, calibrated the thermometer to make sure it was right, but indeed, that's just exactly what we had. And as a result of all that warm air, well, all the computers are backing off snow predictions. What's not changing is the precipitation that's coming. It might change form a little later on, but right now it's going to be wet, and it's going to stay wet for a while, and that is largely due in part to the warm air that really bumped up there. 58 was the peak. It was short-lived, but it was under sunshine above, and we're now into the upper 40s and falling if you're watching the early show. Rain, then some rain and snow mix. We will see an all-snow event during the overnight hours, but it's going to be a little later than sooner for that to change over. Temperatures are going to plunge well below freezing overnight for a lot of folks, and that will, of course, result in some snow. And then, of course, some hazardous conditions. Right now, snowfall totals, though, closer to 1 to 2 inches for most everyone in the viewing area. A couple of other weather-related topics before we go any further. You might think it's simply impossible for anything to catch a blaze outside given the current environmental conditions and all the moisture that we've had for so long, but nevertheless, as it always is and does, spring forest fire hazard season begins tomorrow, February the 15th, in the state of Kentucky. And what does that mean? Well, it means, as always, the law says that from February the 15th through April the 30th, you can't burn anything between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and never, of course, within 150 feet of a wooded area or brushy area. As state law dictates, you can burn after 6 p.m. when conditions are favorable and, of course, less likely to contribute to the spread of a forest fire. We are coming off the last forest fire hazard season, which was very calm and welcomed so in the state of Kentucky. Here's hoping for another one, and there's hoping that maybe there's a little bit of a benefit to all this moisture that we've had for so long. A couple of other weather-related announcements from our McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center Director, Marlene Howard. The Senior Citizens Program and Center is going to be closed this Monday, not due to the weather, as you might jump to conclusion, but because it's President's Day. Now, that also means that there will be no Meals on Wheels service this coming Monday either. And I also spoke to Superintendent of McGoffin County Schools, Stanley Holbrook, just a few moments ago, and he had called to tell me that he had just gotten off the phone with all 5 school principals in McGoffin County, elementary, middle, and high, and they were all in concert in letting all the parents, sweethearts, and everyone out there know that they were understanding of Valentine's being dashed today by the weather, and thus the hopes and maybe hearts of a lot of our students. So they are welcoming any parents or sweethearts who still want to send Valentine's Day wishes or balloons, flowers, or anything of that nature to do so the next day that school is in session. We are almost certain that will be Monday. I'll have your forecast in more detail. That's what we're hoping for. But they are extending, if you will, the Valentine's Day holiday in the school system till the next school day, once again, which we think is Monday. For the 3rd straight year, Kentucky has shown some major gains, and exports from the Commonwealth have set a new record, an all-time high record. Governor Steve Beshear announced officially today the new mark of $25.3 billion in sales of Kentucky-made products and services throughout the year of 2013. Now, this record goes to represent a more than 14% growth in exports since the year before in 2012, the second highest increase in the entire United States. By comparison, the average export growth rate nationwide was about 2%. In 2012, Kentucky's exports totaled about $22.1 billion. So what do you think we're exporting? What are we most famously known for? Well, you might not be right. I was off. Kentucky's leading export growth is in aerospace products, $5.6 billion, followed by motor vehicles and parts at $5.5 billion, and synthetic rubber and resin at $1.4 billion. Now, among the state's major industries, the export that accounted for the highest percentage increase in 2013 was glass, up nearly 71% from the previous year. Other industries to witness significant gains, he says, include communications equipment and audio and visual equipment. In 2013, the governor says the Commonwealth exported to 198 nations. Kentucky's top trading partner, once again, Canada, with $7.7 billion in products and services. Mexico, $1.9 billion. United Kingdom, $1.8 billion. China, $1.3 billion. And Brazil with $1.1 billion, all round out the top five. Kentucky's exports to Saudi Arabia jumped 381%. Nationally, Kentucky had the largest increase in exports to Saudi Arabia and is now that country's 11th largest trade partner. And the increase in exports to Saudi Arabia is attributable, my apologies, to motor vehicles, up from $38 million in 2012 to $610 million last year. I'll be right back.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
This year, W2 means we double. Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC will double your tax return up to $1,000. With more, here's Earl Justice.
Find 200 of our most popular vehicles with payments starting at just $149 a month with zero down, plus all sales decision in 15 minutes or less, or I'll give you the vehicle.
This double your tax return event ends in 2 weeks at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Batesville, Kentucky. Isn't it time to buy Hutch?
Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 p.m. only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Saturday's the day we like it a little hot and spicy with our 20-piece box of wings, only $6.99, or only $5.99 after 4 p.m., or you can make it a hot and spicy meal deal with 10 wings, your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.69 or $3.99 after 4 o'clock. Only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. And Sunday's a day unlike any other day at Lee's with our Sunday special. That's right, chicken and dumplings and cobbler for just $4.49. $3.99 after 4 o'clock. Only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Attention candidates, for whatever you want to get your name and message on, shirts, caps, pins, matches, cozies, and more, call Avavian Deaton, and she can tell you about her campaign special. That's 72 caps and 24 t-shirts delivered to your door for a limited time low price of just $3.99. Call Avavian, 349-3835. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. A Kentucky couple today sued the state of Kentucky in an effort to see that the state issues same-sex marriage license after a federal judge, as I told you earlier this week, ruled that the state must recognize gay marriages if they are performed in other states outside of Kentucky. Now, that suit comes after
A ruling in Virginia. Virginia yesterday becoming the first state in the South to overturn a voter-approved ban on same-sex marriages. After similar decisions elsewhere in the United States, a federal judge ruled yesterday that Virginia's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. However, the same judge, U.S. District Judge Arinda Ritt, also issued a stay of her order pending an appeal, which means that gay couples in Virginia still are not allowed to marry by law, waiting until the case is ultimately solved and comes to a resolution. Also, this week in other states, Nevada has initiated a campaign to put a ballot on the item on the ballot of 2016, giving voters the option to change the state constitution to allow gay marriages. Wisconsin also is in support of a similar proposal as well, and there is legislation pending in the states of Louisiana, Alabama, and others to get legislators to acknowledge or allow same-sex unions. 2 auto accidents today in Magoffin County, both possibly involving a coal truck and a passenger vehicle. In the first instance, a coal truck driver says he had to make room for a passenger vehicle that was a little too close to his vehicle for comfort, and then it was an opposite scenario a little later on in the afternoon.
What was initially called into emergency personnel as a 2-vehicle accident involving a coal truck and a car was actually an incident where there was no contact between 2 vehicles, but the driver of this 1987 coal truck, which was traveling towards town in the direction of Sagersville on Route 40, said that he was coming around this curve just before you get to what's commonly referred to as Tackett Bottom, when a vehicle got a little too close to his vehicle, and in an effort to avoid a collision, the coal truck dropped off the edge of the roadway, and he was unable to regain control of that vehicle and get it back on the roadway. He from there managed to stay in the ditch line. The cab portion, the passenger side cab portion of the vehicle, did strike the rock embankment. You can't see from here, but there was serious damage done to the big rig. It was a couple of hours before wrecker crews and others were able to remove the vehicle from the ditch line and allow traffic to go back to its normal pace on Route 40. The driver of the truck suffered no injuries. Later in the afternoon, local authorities were investigating an accident involving this passenger car that may have resulted from the driver attempting to get over as close to the shoulder as possible after meeting a coal truck on Oakley Road. That's still yet to be confirmed, but nevertheless, we do know that Linda Howard of Oakley was traveling by herself in this passenger vehicle. When she got over onto the narrow edge of the roadway, mud-covered and wet, if you will, that caused her to lose control of the vehicle. She overcorrected and thus hit the embankment. Her car then flipped on its top. She was out of that vehicle upon arrival of emergency personnel. However, she was complaining of several injuries and was taken to the Paul B. Hall Medical Center by TransStar Ambulance Service.
Right now, as I'm gathering that, let's go on over to tonight's community calendar, where I have it. Maybe as many, if not the most number of birthdays that I've ever had on this show, and it's all for Valentine's Day, or at least thereabout.
And they're all courtesy of our friends at Magoffin Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. All right, let's get to it. Happy birthday wishes today on Valentine's Day to Judy Kane Reed. Love, Connie, and Lucille. Happy birthday, Judy. I have a happy birthday wish to Austin Cole today. This birthday wish comes with a lot of love from Mom, Sissy, Bubby, Mama, Mary Sue, and a host of friends and family. Austin Cole celebrating his 6th birthday tomorrow. And this one's got all sorts of best wishes with it. Tina Conley's birthday was on the 2nd of February. Larry Saggers is tomorrow. They are now, as of this week, engaged, and I'm sure we'll throw in happy Valentine's Day wishes in there as well. So happy all of it to you both, Tina and Larry. Happy birthday to Eileen Howard. Happy birthday wishes coming to you from, you got to find it, I've got so many, from Rocky, granddaughter Shannon, Mackenzie, family, friends. Happy birthday. Eileen's birthday is tomorrow, the 15th. Jeremy Collett, from your dad, your mom, your sister, happy birthday to you. And to Timothy James, from your mom, your dad, and your brothers, happy birthday today to Timothy James. Happy birthday, one and all, and happy Valentine's Day to boot. A reminder that McGoffin County's own Turning Ground is going to be singing at the Community Free Will Baptist Church in Route 40 this Sunday morning. And Pastor Matthew Cottle invites you all. Now, this is for Sunday morning services at 11, and the Community Free Will Baptist Church is about 2 miles east out of town. And as a reminder, and I've got it at the bottom of your screen tonight, Turning Ground is going to be performing, opening up for Russell Moore and Third Time Out. This is a reschedule. It's March the 14th at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg. Ticket sales are probably getting pretty slim. If you want to go, you want to get them as soon as possible. Many grants are still available through our local drug-free communities of McGoffin County and Kentucky ASAP. These are many grant funds and amounts up to $1,200 awarded to local community-based, public, private, or faith-based nonprofit agencies or organizations, and all in an effort to enhance community prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery to help fill in the gaps of alcohol, tobacco, and other drug abuse efforts in McGoffin County. To get an application or find out more, call your Drug-Free Communities office in the McGoffin County Health Department at 349-5483, and it is not too late. I assure you, it's not too late. The McGoffin County Health Department has the cost for self-pay adult flu vaccine reduced to just $18, and getting the flu can be deadly. It most certainly is debilitating, and it's not too late to get your vaccine. Call 349-6212 to find out more. The next Lunch and Learn session, talking about becoming simply vegetarian, is going to be at the McGoffin County Extension Office on Friday, the 28th day of February. I'll remind you in the next few days to come. Right now, just a quick reminder that, as always, this is how you get announcements on the program, and as always, for free. Funeral service announcements to be made this Friday, February 14, are done so on behalf of our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with services first of all to be held in honor of 53-year-old Joanne Denny of Williamstown, Kentucky, who passed away on the 11th, the daughter of Ralph Keaton and the late Imogene Carty. Besides her father, she's survived by her husband, Ricky Denny. Visitation continues this evening, and it also continues tomorrow up until the time of services, which will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. It has been very hard to concentrate and not be disheartened today to learn of the passing of Ricky Edward Cooper of 48 and the love that he left behind, our dear friend Sharon. Ricky Cooper passed away at his home on this date at the age of 48. Arrangements are still incomplete at this time, but are to be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. If you want to find out more over the course of the weekend, you can, as I just showed you at the bottom of your screen, go to McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com to find out more about services for Ricky Cooper of McGoffin County. And lastly, this evening, one more announcement to be said in loving memory and in honor of Ruby Marshall on what would have been her birthday tomorrow. Love is in the air at the seasonal shop with something sweet for all your hearts. With cute $5 or $10 custom Valentines perfect for the kids at school and other adorable cuddly candy bouquets just perfect for everyone. And they've got the finest in Whitman's chocolates and more ways to say I love you than you can imagine throughout the store. Fashionable and fan favorite handbags and jewelry for her. Absolutely anything and everything UK for him, and even Big Blue for the cutest of Valentines. And just in, sassafras burlap designs in monogrammed doormats and garden flags to say welcome. All this and so much more only at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Sagersville.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polarises. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
One of the facets of this being pretty much a one-man operation from daylight to dark is the fact that sometimes everything doesn't get ready in time for air, and that's the case with one of our stories this evening. We'll have that for you soon. With that said, I'm not done. I still have some ground to cover. That includes an official verdict tonight on senior night for McGoffin County students who were hopeful to get those ceremonies and festivities in. We have a date that has been reset for, as well as an update on just how quickly the high school basketball season is winding down for everybody.
As we discussed with McGoffin County Athletic Director Neil West last evening, it was kind of well perceived ahead of time that the weather was going to cancel the senior night this evening for the boys team, the cheerleaders, and the dancers at the McGoffin County High School. Owsley County, of course, can you blame them not wanting to travel in what was coming this way? So here's what's happening with that. We'll back up just a bit. What you're looking at here is the last contest and scores from the last Hornet matchup, 56-47, a win over South Floyd this past Tuesday night. Now that puts the boys from McGoffin County, 12-11. I have that at 21-11. I have it backwards. My apologies. It's 12-11. They are just above the halfway mark. And they're 7-8 in region play and 2-5 in the district. Senior night for the boys, for the cheerleaders, and the dance team has been moved up to Monday night. Senior night ceremonies will begin at 6 o'clock Monday evening. The ball game is set for tip-off, I'm told, at 7 and not the standard 7:30 tip-off time. So once again, senior night for the boys as they host Owsley County will be Monday night. And that will be for the boys, the cheerleaders, and the dance team. Now the boys are going to be in action between now and then. They're set to be on the road tomorrow at Powell County, and that is set for a 2:30 tip-off in the afternoon. All in all, the boys' team has 4 games left on the schedule, and that senior night, of course, Monday night is the last home game on the regular season schedule. District play begins the following Monday for everyone. For the Lady Hornets, well, you're looking at their last win over Sheldon Clark, 9 wins in a row as they're putting a big finish on the last of the regular season schedule, and that was on Tuesday night. They are to be in action tomorrow on the road at Breathitt County, tip-off set for 2:30. The Lady Hornets still sitting firmly atop 15th region girls basketball at 19-4, still undefeated in region and district action, and they'll, as I said, be at Breathitt County tomorrow at 2:30. They have only 3 games left on their schedule, 2 away games, and the last game is their home game and senior night for the girls and for band members, and that is next Friday the 21st. And I think after tonight, we're not going to have any cancellations, at least for the next week, in regards to weather-related events in basketball. Paintsville High School and the Tigers, well, they've only got, technically 1 game left on the schedule. They had a game set for last night at Belfry. It was canceled. Don't know if it's going to be rescheduled. Their senior night, I believe, is against Pikeville. They're hosting Pikeville next Thursday, the 20th. This after a win over Betsy Lane, 57-48 on Tuesday. The Tigers right now are at 9-13 in region play. Once again, hosting Pikeville Thursday. The Lady Tigers, 69-35 was their last win Monday night over Lawrence County. They're at 14-9. They're hosting Central tonight. Not a big drive for them. They're going to be able to beat the weather home. They're hosting Central tonight at 6 o'clock. Is an early tip-off, however, and they're playing actually tonight, and then they've got games Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week. That's going to wrap up their season schedule. They'll be hosting Allen Central on Wednesday, which I'm assuming is their senior night. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles, they've got 3 games left on their schedule. Most recently, they played hosting Pike County Central, a win 65-27 for the boys. They'll be back in action next Monday night, hosting Ashland Blazer. That is their last home game, and of course, we believe senior night for them. The Lady Golden Eagles were in action Monday night against Betsy Lane on the road, a win 55-35. They're at 14-10. They're, as we said, at Paintsville tonight. They'll be in action tomorrow at Prestonsburg, and then East Ridge is another road game, and that finishes their season for them. The Morgan County Cougars 62-75 loss to West Carter, puts them at 13-10, puts them at Rowan County tomorrow night if the weather doesn't have any say-sos about it, and they've got 4 more games on the home schedule, or on the schedule altogether. Their home game is McGoffin County. They're hosting McGoffin County, and that is their senior night, and that is on Thursday night. And the Lady Cougars, 33-40, a loss over Elliott County, or to Elliott County, puts them at 10-10 on the season, and they're hosting East Carter at 4:30. They were to host East Carter at 4:30 today, trying to get that game in ahead of the weather, and they are going to be at Fairview tomorrow, another afternoon game, tip-off set for 2 o'clock. They've got 5 games in all on their schedule. And as you can see, the moisture is getting closer by the moment. We've dropped 5 degrees. We're down at 43 right now and falling, if you're catching the early show, and falling at a pretty good pace. And we'll see rain, and we'll see it for quite some time. The changeover is not coming until a little bit later on this evening as this system moves to the southeast from the northwest, and you can see most all of Kentucky getting in on rain action beforehand, except for the extreme northern part of the state. Snow totals right now, 1 to 3 inches is still a possibility for the entire viewing area. And that's going to happen later on tonight when this change does take place. It will be an abrupt change. We're going to see winds kick about gusts upwards of 20-25 miles per hour at times, and that will be along an edge that we'll also see, of course, temperatures drop and then some snow take the place of some rain. So that's rain and snow becoming all snow. Last computer models indicating that switch to nothing but snow is not going to happen until maybe after 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't move in quicker. Computers are having a hard time. They've been fighting over this all day. A whole lot of warm air, warmer than what we had expected, and, of course, a lot of moisture to deal with, and that very finite line sometimes that we tend to ride here in this part of Kentucky. But nevertheless, 30 will be your daytime high tomorrow after we see a low tonight of around 20 degrees. That means snow is going to stick around, a few flakes continuing to fly, maybe up to, say, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, after that, we'll see skies start to become gradually mostly sunny. And that's going to be nice. But another hit of some snow on the backside of this, after all that sunshine, maybe in the late afternoon, we'll get another chance for some snowfall into your Saturday night. No big accumulation into the evening, but just another little blast of snow. We have been so through this for so long. This is no surprise, I think, to anyone. Sunday, rounding out your weekend with 41 degrees. Still that chance of some snow showers up until about 11 o'clock Sunday morning, a low of 26. We'll see increasing clouds throughout Sunday night. We'll start off Monday with much more favorable conditions, at least starting to build. 48, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance of showers on your President's Day, and a real good chance Monday night. Showers most likely Monday night. Tuesday, we'll hit the 53-degree mark, mostly sunny. Still have a threat of showers. By Wednesday of next week, we hit 60, then 63 on Thursday. We will do it, though, with some clouds and chances of rain, maybe even a few thunderstorms, but we will see the 60s ever so gladly. After that, well, we might have to talk about winter making a return and maybe hanging on throughout the end of February, but we'll talk about that when I see you next. For now, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for being a part of the program. We'll see you back here next week for more of Your News Today. Good night.